Hey everybody, my name is Ian Lauzon and I'm a certified master inspector and owner of Timber Point Home Inspection. I'm here in the community of Chaparral in Calgary, Alberta, and we're going to have an inspection of this home today. There's been a recent renovation, so I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Come with me and we'll go inside. So we're at the front of the house here. When we're doing an exterior inspection, I always want to start with making a notes of the actual wall cladding. So it looks like we have some vinyl siding and we have some cultured stone on the sides of the garage. And then we also have some metal cladding going around the windows and doors and whatnot. Metal cladding is really good because you don't have to worry about painting it. You don't have to worry about it rotting or anything over time. Whereas, some of the wood trim, the paint does start to come off, so it does need repainting over time. With the cultured stone, you just want to make sure that everything is nice and secure, that nothing's loose. Sometimes the stones, if they're not installed right, they can come loose over time. Have a look at the driveway, make sure that it's got a good pitch away from the house. This one has no problem because there's quite a bit of an incline here. Looking at the slab, there's a little bit of cracking going on, which is fine. Just some hairline cracks, that's perfectly fine. No settlement. Sometimes I'll see a driveway where it meets the garage floor and it's dropped considerably, sometimes as much as 3-4 inches. So when that settlement's happened, sometimes the only way to fix it is to either jack it or to actually replace the entire driveway, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars. We have a new garage door that's been installed. It's got some fixed windows on it. Looks like it's in good shape, no damage to it. And then when we walk along the side of the house, we can have a look at our vinyl siding. Make sure that everything is secure. You can see one piece of siding has come loose, so the homeowner can go up there and just reset that siding into place. Have a look at the foundation. The lower part of the exterior here, we have concrete. And when we look at the foundation, we want to look for any signs of cracks or deterioration that's happened. So we walk around, have a look at the foundation. Don't see any cracks that have occurred, which is good. If there is cracking, it's common. Vertical cracks are fine. If they start to open up, over 1/4 inch, then we want to address them to prevent any leaking issues. The more serious cracks are horizontal cracks, which you usually would see inside the basement. You're not going to generally see them outside the house as much. If you do see horizontal cracking, you want to contact a concrete specialist because it could indicate some issues going on outside the house. And then I also want to have a look at the grading. Make sure that the ground is not sloping back towards the house, which could lead to water intrusion into the basement. This one seems either flat or slight grade away from the house, which is what you want to see. Even just a slight grade is fine. And then we can have a look at our exterior and address the siding. We have some accent lights that go around the front and sides of the house. At nighttime, those will look really, really special. You can control those with an app on your phone, so you can change the color. Valentine's Day is coming up. You can set them red and pink when your wife comes home from work. Let her know what's going on that night, so that's nice. We have our electrical meter. We just make sure that that's nice and secure, that the lockout tag is still present. Gas meter, same thing. We want to make sure that we don't smell any gas. We can run a gas detector along to make sure that it's not leaking. And then we have a gas shut off here, which you control with a wrench. So everything looks good on this side.
Are you breaking it?
We're in the backyard here of this house. You can feel it's nice and calm back here. No dogs barking, no one's yelling. It's nice and quiet. You can't hear any traffic. Hear the birds chirping. It's a really nice space to enjoy the outside. We've got some row of cedar trees that have been planted. Within a few years, they're going to grow and be nice and tall, provide a lot more privacy. So that's good to see. It looks like there's lots of grass. I have lots of pets running around, kids playing games and all that kind of stuff. Got some gym equipment here. You can get up high, do some pull-ups or something like that. I'm only doing one, that's all I can do. Make our way onto the deck. You can see the stairs. This stair stringer is starting to pull off a little bit from the deck. Make a recommendation to the homeowner to have the stairs lifted and secured into place so that they're not going to settle over time. Have a look at the railings of the deck. They're nice and tight and secure. This deck has a vinyl covering. which is nice. It's fairly low maintenance. It looks nice and clean. You can wash it down with a hose, keep it nice and make it looking nice. With the vinyl decking, the vinyl covering, you usually want to come over to the corners and the edges, make sure that it's not lifting and pulling up. Over time, the membrane can start to weaken, and then it'll eventually need repairs, but this one's in nice shape. Nice sized deck, nice barbecue, little fire pit on there. Really nice place to enjoy the outside. And there's an exterior door coming off the dining room, so it's nice and close to the kitchen. And again, this is a good sized yard. It's not too small. Still provides lots of space to enjoy the outsides. And there's lots of trees in the springtime and the summer. This place is going to be flowing really nicely. There's going to be lots of greenery everywhere. And again, with our cedar trees, within about 3 to 5 years, those will be twice their size, and they'll provide a lot more privacy in the backyard. This takes a little bit of time, so we'll wait for that. But really nice backyard. Really impressed back here. We're gonna have a little bit of a look at the lower part of this deck. We have a 2x8 construction, and we have a 3-ply beam, which is good. That's what you want to see. That's an additional support that can, if you have a party, you have 10, 15 people on the deck, you're not going to be any failure. We're not super high off the ground, so even if there was some sort of failure to happen, it's not going to kill anybody. But if you get higher up, then it definitely becomes more of a serious issue. Beam looks like it's in good shape. There's no signs of any rot. You can see the support posts coming out from underneath the ground. Those are going to go down 4 feet down below the soil, and they're going to be able to provide that additional support for the beam. You can see they're nice, large support posts, and they're spanned. Everything seems to meet all the requirements needed for the structure. And then underneath the deck, you can see all of the pressure treated beams and proper joist hangers in place. It goes all the way across. Seems like it's a professionally done deck. There's no issues with it. So it's a good, safe place. Decks can look great, but if they're not safe, then they're not very good to be on. So that's one thing when I'm doing an inspection, is making sure we look underneath and don't miss those kinds of things. Okay, we just walked inside the house here. Just getting my first impression. Being inside, looks like it's been fully renovated. So one of the things we'll look at is the quality of the renovation. Been in a lot of houses that have been full renos, flip houses, things like that, and sometimes the craftsmanship and the quality is quite poor, and the colors and all the accents don't really match. Nothing's really flowing. When I walk in the door here, it's very bright, it's very friendly and cozy and welcoming. It's really a good feeling when I'm in here. I like the vinyl flooring with that more natural wood look to it. It really matches, the white walls, the railings, the black. It really draws everything together. So it's a good thing when I'm walking inside a home. It feels friendly, feels inviting. Think I could just sit down here on the couch. I got my fire going. Maybe I got a football game on, or some sort of trash reality television, and I'm having a good time. Maybe a beer, a glass of wine, and this feels really nice. I got the sunlight coming in through the window. I like the feeling of this living room. I like the fact that the TV and the fireplace are a little bit off center, so you can not necessarily have to have two things kind of breaking your attention all at once. So if you want to just visit with somebody, you can do that and just enjoy the fire, or you can watch TV, anything like that. This is a really nice first impression when I'm inside this house. Very happy. Okay, just enjoying the last few seconds of my break here. As a home inspector, you don't really get a lot of breaks when you're doing an inspection for a client. They wouldn't be very happy with you if you're just sitting on the couch just kind of looking around and enjoying the house as much. So we got to get back to our job. We're in the living room, clearly, of this house. So when I'm in the living room, what I'm looking for is signs of any structural issues with the ceiling or the walls. I'm going to test the plugs, test the windows. We know that the fireplace is working, so that's good. If it wasn't working, I'd make comments about that in the inspection report, advising the client to have it repaired or have the seller repair it, things like that. So I'd like to take a flashlight. You can see that this is a now flat ceiling, which I really appreciate, because the workmanship that goes into scraping a ceiling, when you take off the popcorn finish to it, or making a knockdown effect to it, it requires a lot of work. And the flat ceiling, it works in this kind of situation. It really makes everything nice and sharp and clean. I like that look, especially when you got the pot LED lights. Really blends everything together. And you have the color of the ceiling, same color of the walls, very uniform. I can see the style that this homeowner is going for, so it works for that case. So what I'd be looking for is any signs of cracking in the ceiling that might indicate there's been some settlement or movement over time in the house. So everything looks nice and clean. There's no cracks at all. So that would be good. You'd come over to the mantle, make sure that nothing is moving around. Everything is nice and secure. You can take your receptacle tester and test it to make sure that the plugs are wired properly. So I'll go around to all the plugs in the room and test them. So what I'm looking for with my electrical tester is 2 orange lights would indicate that the plug is wired properly. If I get a light on the other side, it could indicate that the plug is wired improperly, and it could be a safety issue, or it might not work at all. So then I'd advise the buyer or the homeowner to repair the plug, use an electrician if they're not able to fix it themselves. Have a look at the window, look for any cracks or condensation issues that might be present that might indicate seal failure or any other issue with the window. So we can open it up, slide it. Everything seems to be working fine. Locks properly. It's nice and secure. So we know that the window's good. This window's got vinyl sill, which is good because it's easier to clean. It's not going to get water damage if you do have higher humidity levels that lead to frost or ice buildup. And then when it melts, it's not going to come back and ruin all the wood. So everything looks good there. Casings look good. Again, looking at the ceiling and the wall, looking for signs of any cracks. Don't see that. This house isn't overly old, so we shouldn't really see any signs of movement from my experience. Newer homes generally don't have a lot of settlement or structural issues other than the one-off cases. When we have homes that are built in the 1970s, 60s, 50s, and all the way down to the early 1900s, that's when you encounter more signs of structural problems with older foundations starting to crack or crumble, water issues that have affected the underneath soil of the house, and that can cause settlement problems. So in a newer house, you shouldn't really see those kinds of things, but we're always making sure, we always treat every house like it's a 100-year-old house. We're looking for everything. We're not just going to assume that because everything looks nice and clean and crisp that something could be wrong. So that's why we'll look around. We move ourselves into the dining room, same thing. We got another window here, just a sliding frame window. Open it up, close it, locks, everything's working properly. I can always show the homeowner if they're interested, if maybe the listing realtor has said, triple pane windows or new windows have been added. We can go around and we can actually look up inside the window. We can see the date that the window is manufactured. So this one says July 2006. So it's the same age as the house when it was built. So these are the original windows. So if the listing realtor was saying new windows, then we might be able to call them out and say, we think you're kind of lying. Maybe there's only one new window in the house. Not all of them are new because they're white and look pretty fresh. You might think that they're new, but they're not. And we can take our flashlight. When we see 2 beams of light, that means we got 2 panes of glass. It's a double pane window. If we see 3 beams of light, then we got a triple pane window. So then I can advise the buyer, the homeowner, of the windows that they got in their house. So this is an important thing because in a house, when people are going through the house, when they're looking at it with their realtor, a lot of these things get missed because people are more focused on the bigger things. They're focused on the flow of the kitchen or how much they like the living room or the bathrooms or something like that. Not always focused on what is actually being said versus what we're actually seeing. Sometimes we'll get a floor where the realtor has listed it as a hardwood floor, which is a very high quality floor. It's expensive to install and to maintain, but it holds the test of time. Versus maybe a laminate floor that might be actually present. So they'll say it's hardwood flooring, but when we pull up our register on the floor, we can actually look at the flooring and we can say that it's actually vinyl or it's laminate, so that they're misleading us again. I've seen that actually happen on the opposite side where the realtor might say it's laminate flooring and turns out it's actually hardwood. So then the buyer's actually getting more benefit from the flooring because you're able to refinish it and it's just higher quality. It takes more abuse and it looks better over time. So those are the things that I'm looking for. Grab a seat at my dining room table here. I really like this table in the fact that this is for a large family to get together. I'm imagining myself like Christmas time or Thanksgiving, something like that. sitting down with everybody and having a good meal. And then you can see the kitchen here, the living room, everything's all a nice view here. We can visit with people that are sitting on the couch, people that are cooking or preparing food in the kitchen. You got some stools there at the kitchen. So lots of places to sit, lots of places to entertain. This is definitely a house for people to, have a party, have people over, show them all the hard work you put into your house and have a good time. So I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing so far. Okay, we'll work our way over to the kitchen next. Big fan of this kitchen. I really like this style with the, the open floating shelves. It's a really modern style. It's nice and simple and clean. I really like the layout of it. You're able to come in here. There's a nice peninsula. Your sink is right here. It's out of the way, so you still have lots of space to, prepare food and use different appliances. A lot of kitchens that I've been in, there's just not enough countertop space. Even though if it's even using a large enough space, there's not enough space to prepare food and for people to sit down and visit while you're making food for them or not. So we can have a look at the sink, test it, make sure that there's no leaks, test all the motions of it, make sure it's not loose or anything like that. Just all simple things that definitely get overlooked when people are buying homes. So we can have a look. We'll have a look underneath in a second. We've got the dishwasher running. Seems to be working good. When I'm running appliances, most thing I'm using is my ears, making sure that the motors are working properly, that nothing is off track, or that the motors are wearing out. That could indicate failure of the appliance. Make sure that it's not going to be leaking. Stoves, ovens, we just run them, make sure that they're making heat and they're working properly, all the functions are working. Same thing with the fridge, make sure that it's producing cold. Get a lot of flip homes where the owner or the contractor cheaped out, didn't buy a new fridge. They went and got an old fridge from somewhere, from another house, and it doesn't even work. You plug it in, you open the door, it's got light to it, but there's actually no cold. So they're just kind of trying to fool you. So you always got to check these things when you're going through homes, make sure that all this stuff works, microwaves, all that kind of stuff. So have a look at all the hardware, all the doors, make sure that everything's nice and smooth, everything's off track. Open everything up, have a look inside, looking for any signs of damage. Again, I'm looking at the ceilings, making sure there's no structural issues. This has got a barn sliding door, and this is a really nice door. I love these doors. I have one of these in my house. And big issue with these doors is if they're not installed properly, they can come quite loose and they can actually come off the wall if they're not installed into the actual structure inside the wall. So I like to take a look at it and really assess that, that bracket is mounted properly, that it's not loose, that it's not gonna, over time start peeling off the wall, and then you're gonna have a whole nother issue. So this is great. These are nice handy doors. Make sure that it can actually, when it stays closed, that it's not going to roll away, that it's actually level. So that's good. It's installed right. Lights are working properly. We can have a look at the electrical, plug our testers in, make sure that there's enough power. When we're around a sink, we have to have a GFCI protected receptacle. A GFCI is a specific device in the plug that would, if let's say you had a sink full of water, you have a blender or something, or a toaster, something gets knocked over, it falls into the water, you're not going to get electrocuted. It's going to shut off the device at the plug before anything bad happens. So one thing I can do is I can take my tester and actually push the button, and when I'm pushing the button, we have no GFCI protection. So I'll make a recommendation. It's a very simple thing. They're about $25, $30 to replace that plug with the GFCI, just so that anything around the sink or any water source, bathroom sink, laundry sink, anything like that, we're going to be protected. So I'll make a recommendation to the owner of the home just to let them know. And then looking at the flooring, everything, look for signs of damage, anything like that, everything looks good. We even have a plug up here, just so that if you have you could plug in a sign or something like that, something to make it look really cool. It's nice to have a plug up high like that, just for whatever you want to do. You could put in a TV or something like that if you wanted to do something. Everything in this kitchen looks really nice. I like the lighting. It's nice and bright in here. You have some hanging pendant lights which add a nice little accent. They look really nice. Everything blends together. I like the black fixtures, black sink, white countertops, looks like quartz countertops. goes all the way down. Really nice, a really expensive look, and really blends everything together. Again, with the floating shelves, I like this clean look. And then this hood fan, very expensive hood fan. It's gonna do a really good job at providing suction. You can hear how loud that is. If you're preparing a lot of food, if you're doing a lot of fried food or cooking a lot of fish and stuff like that, you really want to exhaust all that, all those gases out and keep the area, not as much humidity going around. So having a nice high quality hood fan, and you can see it's installed really nicely. I love this kind of glass protection on it. Looks really neat. And then there's also a light in there, so you can provide yourself some more light when you're cooking food. And then turn it off. Really nice kitchen. I'm a big fridge guy. It's got all my favorite things inside, so I like looking at these new fridges. They're really fancy. The old refrigerators, they're pretty basic. They just basically provided cooling. Then sometimes there was water or ice. These new ones, there's all kinds of cool things going on. You have a little knock, you can see what you got inside there. Push the button, you get access to just this front part. Close it up, and then you got the whole fridge. Very fancy. I wish I had this fridge in my house. Unreal. All right, so we're in like a pantry / mudroom. Behind me is the garage door. The door to enter the garage. So this is good. Lots of storage here, places to put your things, coat rack, put all your cans and all your soups and everything like that, spices, all that kind of stuff. Nice room. Open up the door. First thing we do, we check with the garage entry door is to make sure that it's fire rated. First off, this is a metal clad door, which will qualify as a fire rated door, and make sure that it has a self closer. So that means that there's specific hinges that will automatically close the door when I leave it untouched. This is to prevent any gases. If someone drives into the garage and they're having a bad day, they're forgetting things, leaving the car running, and then if they didn't have a self-closer, they could leave the door open, and then you got carbon monoxide coming into the house. Actually happened to me when I was about 20 years old. I was at a friend's house, and kid's dad was working on his car, and he was running it as he was working on the engine and tuning it, and he had the garage door open. And we were downstairs, and all of a sudden the carbon monoxide alarm started going off in the house. We didn't know what was going on, so we called fire department. So firemen come out, and then you're like, what is this guy doing? He's got the car, he's working on the car, and he doesn't know that the exhaust is going into the house. So kind of a funny thing, but everything was safe. So, but you could leave this overnight. Someone comes in, God forbid they had a few drinks or something like that, and they forget to close the door when they walk in the house. They've got the car running for some reason, and that could cause a potentially fatal situation. So there's a reason why there's a self-closer on that door. Come inside the garage. Just looking at the railings, make sure that everything's nice and safe and tight and secure. This is a kind of finished / unfinished space. So we have finished drywall on the interior side. That's for fire rating, so that we don't have any issues with meeting fire code. And then we have a new garage door installed. You can push the button, open up the door. Really nice opener, nice and quiet. It's belt driven. There's two types of garage door openers. There's belt drive, and then there's also chain drive. Chain drive is those really loud ones you hear. You probably remember those when you were growing up. You open up the garage door, can't hear anything. These new belt drive ones are really nice. They also have an app that you can actually control the door opener with your phone. So if you're driving down the street and you're a couple minutes away and you go, damn, did I forget to close the garage door? You can open up your app and then check. It's good if you have someone dropping off something, you can open up the door from them, let them drop something off, and then they can go off, and then you can close the door again. So when I'm testing the door, I can close it again. And I'm gonna test the sensors inside, the photo sensors inside the door, and those work. So if you had, let's say a kid is playing with something, or you had something, lying on the floor, someone goes to close the door by accident, it could come down and it could cause damage to either a person or an object or something like that. So that's a safety device. What's that? Dog or cat, kids, we want everyone safe. So there's a reason why there's photo sensors there. They are there for safety. So if they're missing, I'll make a comment about that. Other than that, we can actually test the door itself to make sure that the hardware is in good shape. And you can see the door goes up and down just with one hand. That's the way it should be. It's well balanced. Everything is aligned properly. There's no issues with this door. If the door is sticking or it's having a tough time going up and down could be an indication with the hardware, and it will eventually lead to failure. And then you got to spend a bunch of money, which we don't want to do. So inside the garage, this is a unconditioned space, which meaning that there's no heat source coming from the house. If there was a heat source, it should be external. It's like a gas heater that would be exhausting out the side of the house. If I've ever seen, like, sometimes I see actual registers in the garage, which again is a fire hazard. It's a carbon monoxide issue, but some people will do that because they want to add in heat coming from the furnace, which they think is smart, but at the end of the day, it's gonna make the furnace work a lot harder than it's supposed to, and it's not safe. So I'll look for those types of things. I can take my thermal camera, have a look at the ceiling, look for any signs of water issues, any leaks, make sure that the insulation inside the ceiling, because there is a finished space above this section of the garage, that there's no issues with the insulation, and that would cause heat loss problems. So everything looks nice and good here. So we'll move on to the other parts of the house. Okay, we're checking out the main floor bathroom now. It's just a 2-piece bathroom, toilet and a sink, which is what you typically find on main floors. Lift up the cover here. Nice blind. It's not letting in any personal viewers from the outside, so I like that. Nice and safe. Test the window. This is a single hung window, so when we lift it into place, it should stay in place. That means that there's springs inside the window that allow it to stay open and not fall back down. So that's working good. Push it back down, lock it up. Everything's good and secure. Take the toilet. I like to take my legs, put it underneath, and try to see if I can move it. If the toilet has a failed wax seal, or it's loose, it's not sitting properly, it'll start to wobble. Every time you flush it, that could let water underneath the floor, which is a shitty problem to have. So when you take a flush, that sounds like it'll do the trick. Take the sink again, trying to move it around, make sure it's nice and secure. Same with the faucet. Make sure we got hot and cold. Working good there. Take our electrical tester, and this is a GFCI rated plug, so we want to make sure that it's working properly. So I'll put it in the hole, push the test button. You can see that it tripped, so that's working properly. So if you have this one will have to reset at another part of the house. But if you have a hairdryer or something like that, you can drop it in the sink full of water. You're not going to electrocute yourself, so you're protected. Turn the switch on for the exhaust fan. Working good. You're going to take away all the smells, all the humidity. That's working good. And then we go underneath the sink here, have a look at the tailpipe, the P-trap, make sure that there's no leaks, everything's good and secure. We got shutoffs for hot and cold. Nothing's leaking, everything's dry. No signs of water damage in here. This is a great bathroom. So we just finished with the main floor. We're gonna work our way upstairs. First thing I noticed with the staircase is that the flooring is in really good shape. The railing is nice and secure, it's not loose. Turn on our light. Beautiful light fixture, really blends in with the railing. Really nice touch that I like to see. Work our way up here. The handrails, really nice finish. Really beautiful to come upstairs like this. After a long, hard day, it's a good feeling. This is a 3-way switch connected to the light, so you can turn it off from upstairs as well as at the main floor. So it's wired properly. It's good to see. In one of the bedrooms here, well lit, 4 pot lights in this bedroom, really nice and bright. On a dimmer as well, so we can control the lighting, set the mood for whatever you're into. Take a look at the door, checking for signs of damage, making sure the door closes properly and it's not sticking anywhere. This indicates that the door is in good shape, that the house is in good shape. If sometimes the doors are sticking in a home, could indicate that there's structural issues. So open and close it, it's working good. Again, we walk into the room. It's a nice sized bedroom, not overly large, but you can see it fits a queen bed quite easily. Still space if you wanted to have a dresser or something like that. There's also another closet. Nice sized window in here. Lots of natural light to be let in. We don't have a neighbor's window directly across. That's always nice for privacy's sake. If you're getting ready, you don't have to worry about necessarily someone watching you as you're getting ready. Open and close the window. Locks perfectly. Everything looks good. I love these vents. You can actually take a piece of the flooring and insert it into the vent here. Just adds a nice real finish. Nice little touch. A lot of these vents, people just overlook them. They just put in the cheapest thing they can find. I like when people go the extra step there to really blend it all in. Doesn't even look like there's a vent there, so really nice. Take our electrical tester. We got proper wiring. Really beautiful bedroom. Just a simple room, but everything everything inside it has been thought of, so it's a comfortable room to come and take a nap. Making our way into the bonus room or flex room. The reason why it might be called a bonus room or flex room, you can use it for whatever needs for your family. You can use it for using a photo studio, as an office, as a play space, as another space to come up and just read a book, enjoy yourself, sit down, and just take in a nice room of the house. Really good space. It's going to be well lit. It's a really nice part of the room. It's straight from the main floor. You can still see down the stairs. So if you have kids playing up here, you know what they're up to. The flooring again is continuous throughout the house. Really sharp room, and it's actually quite large room. So if you did have an office, you have lots of space for that. You could also in the future convert it to another bedroom or 2 bedrooms if you wanted to. So there's options. This is what people are looking for nowadays, is just to have flexibility. Things change, families change. Sometimes people are coming in and you need more space. So having this option is great. If you're looking for a 2-story detached house, it's always good to have a nice bonus room. You can play around with ideas, and as families grow up, you can change the room to meet your needs. All right. Making our way over to the laundry room. Not a lot of houses have an actual full laundry room on the 2nd floor. It's definitely a sought after thing. Having the ability to do all your laundry upstairs, all your bedrooms are up here. So all the clothes and everything, it's easy to get it up and around the house. Nice countertop here for folding clothes, or you could do some ironing, things like that. Some additional shelving along the sides for all your linens, your towels, all your laundry supplies. 2 new washing and dryer. I would test these to make sure that they're working properly, make sure that they're wired properly, that they're safe, that the dryer vents outside. You're not going to have any issues, fire-related issues. Nice window in here, makes it nice and bright. This is a good place. Laundry rooms can be quite dark and scary and miserable. If I'm doing laundry in here, I'd be happy. This could be my favorite room in the house. Away from everybody, I could just sit in here and do my thing, fold my clothes. We got our upstairs common bathroom. So common bathroom meaning that the 2 bedrooms that don't have an ensuite would be able to use this room. Turn on the light. Heated floor. I can feel it on my feet. Take my thermal camera, look at that. You can see the actual heating element underneath the floor. Really cool. You can see how it goes all the way up to the shower, around the toilet, so that when this is high class living, I'll tell you that. A lot of homes don't have heated floors, so just really nice. You get out of the shower, you don't feel cold. You just got the nice comfort of the heat on you. Again, with bathrooms, we're checking the fixtures, checking the sink, run the water, make sure that everything's working properly. Test the toilet. This one's got a bidet, kind of a flushing a little spray wand. Looks like it'll do the job. Fiberglass shower, and we got some ceramic tile around the outside of it. I'm a big fan of fiberglass showers as opposed to tiled showers. Tiled showers are great, but they're also expensive to install and they have potentials to leak. Fiberglass is never going to leak unless it gets, physically damaged. So it's really nice. You can just run the water. Black fixtures, again, black fixture there, black light fixtures, black faucet. Everything's blending. I like the flow in here. I love the tile. It's a really cool tile. I have not seen that tile on the floor. Really nice, exotic type of room. It feels like a really nice bathroom. Have no issues with this being an ensuite or to the master bedroom. So the fact that this is just one of the common bathrooms in the house, it's really nice. I was just thinking, and one more benefit to the heated floor is, if you get kicked out of your bedroom for the night, if you're having an argument or something with your partner,
I'd just come in here and sleep on the floor. It's nice and warm, nice and cozy. I don't think I'd have any issue. That's just one food for thought. We'll move on to the master bedroom. Really nice and calm. A lot of bedrooms, there's shit everywhere. There's too many things all over the place. The bedroom should be a nice calming place. That when you lay down on the bed, that you feel relaxed and you don't feel like there's clutter everywhere. Like I could have a nap right now. Everything is just so calm and peaceful in here. I like the light fixture. It's got a nice feeling to it. This is a nice bed. This is really comfortable. I feel like I'm sinking into it, but we'll have a nap later. Nice large window. Lift up our blind. See how much light it lets in. During the daytime, you won't even need the lights on. Nice and bright. Give it a test. Looks good. Flooring looks good. The carpet is new and fresh. Test all the plugs. Doors are working good. Ceiling, again, we look for any signs of cracking or structural issues. I don't see that in here. It's a good space. It's a nice large room. It's not overly large. Some bigger houses, the master bedrooms are just ridiculous. They're too big. It's not even a room anymore. It's just like an open space. I like a room that's, good size. You can have a room for a desk still to do any work. And it's nice and calm. Really like the room in here. Make our way over to the master bathroom. We got a single sink, a tub, and a shower. We got everything we need. Again, we got heated floors. A lot of people spend a lot of money on double sinks. It's just kind of out there that you need double sinks if you're gonna have a nice bathroom. I don't necessarily believe in double sinks because unless you and your partner get ready at the exact same time every day, you don't really need two sinks. You can make one sink work, and then you can instead of having that double sink, you have another space to keep your wife happy. You got a little makeup area here. She's got a little stool here. You can have all your stuff out so you can get ready in the morning. If you have another sink here, you got nowhere to sit, you got nowhere to relax. So this is great. I'd definitely like to see the trend change from more of a double sink to single sink, and then an area where you can get ready, because that's important. A lot of people spend a lot of time getting ready in the morning. So to be able to sit down and just take in this nice bathroom is great. So I like the idea of getting rid of that double sink in this area. We've got a nice large soaker tub. You can test it, make sure that it's got plenty of hot water. We got a window here, letting lots of light. Again, we don't have neighbor's window across, so it's nice and private. And then a big shower, walk-in tiled shower. With tiled showers, I always want to make a suggestion to the buyer, the homeowner, make sure you seal the grout every year or two. This will prevent any water from getting in behind the tiles, and also that joints where the wall and floor meet, or walls and corners meet, that there's proper caulking in place. And I can feel it as I run my fingers along that it is caulked, so that is going to prevent any water from getting in behind. We got a nice niche in here, which is going to be good for your soaps and all that. Keeps it nice and clean and fresh. Again, another black fixture. Nice, solid, tempered glass door. Closes nice. You can feel that it's nice and secure. A lot of shower doors are actually become quite loose over time, and that's not good. This one has a nice feeling to it. Drain seems like it's in good shape. Really nice shower. Really good shower. You could be in here for half an hour easily, just soaking it all in. And then we got our toilet over on this area. We got an exhaust fan so that we can bring out all that extra humidity. This is one of the nicest bathrooms I've been in a long time. And again, we have our GFCI protection here. This plug actually resets all of the plugs in the house. So if you were ever wondering, why one plug isn't working, usually got to come up to a bathroom and find where you can push a reset button. So now we got power again, push it, and we can test it. And it's working properly. Again, we take our thermal camera and we can run it and see that heated floor and see where it goes all the way around. Really nice, really high end. It's a good investment. If you're gonna invest money into a bathroom, do it properly. Don't skip anything. make it look like this. This is what a master bathroom should look like. This is perfect. Okay, so my impression with this master bedroom, master suite, is this is exactly what you're looking for. If you're into design, if you're into like a lot of the cosmetic aesthetic feelings in a house, this is what you want to feel. Really nice. It's simple, but it's elegant, and there's a lot of, it's functional. So that's the main point for an inspector, is it functional? Because you can go into a lot of rooms in a lot of nice houses, and again, I don't really see the functionality of a lot of things, and it's just wasted money and wasted space. So to see a room and an ensuite like this makes me happy. I know that the owners put a lot of effort into this, and that it paid off, because it shows really well, and I would love this bathroom in my house, that's for sure. We're making our way over to the last bedroom on the house. This one's a 3-bedroom upstairs. So again, similar bedroom to the first one we looked at. Nice and bright. Again, it still fits a nice large bed. Would have room for a dresser, good sized closet, and again, another window here. It's perfect. This neighbor has no windows on their second floor on this side of the house. So we're not looking at anybody getting ready in the morning. Don't have to give them the awkward hello. So that's good. Open and close, lock it up. Again, really nice space. Just very comfortable. Another bed. Like I love these beds too. I got to find out where you get these beds, because this is great. This is where I need to be. Just hanging out here. Good night, everybody. I think this is it. I think we're done. Okay, making our way down to the basement. Nice hardwood stairs. Looks to be hardwood flooring as well down here. Pretty rare to find in a basement. Let's turn on some lights. First impression down here is that it's dry. I always like to use my nose when I'm going down into a basement, and if I feel any musty odors or indications that there's been a flood in the past or water damage, that I'm able to detect that over experience. So everything feels nice and dry down here. You got a nice projector. Looks like there's a screen that can come down. You could set up, have a movie, watch a big game. Big full kitchen down here. Sink, dishwasher, stove, oven, hood fan again, venting outside. Good sized fridge. Really nice cabinetry. You don't see this in a basement that often. Really nice, high quality stuff. Again, quartz countertops, nice backsplash. Here is our GFCI we have for the sink. So we can put our tester in, push it, working good. So that's nice. Lots of plugs around here for preparing food. If someone else is down here making some meals, they got all kinds of space to do that. Again, we have some sitting area there, sitting around having breakfast. Really, really nice basement. One of the nicer basements I've ever seen. Nice little bathroom in here. Again, full bathroom, full-size sink, toilet, fiberglass shower. Got our exhaust fan. We got heat in here. Really nice bathroom. Everything's nice and secure. You're able to look at everything. Nice and dry, no signs of leaks. Toilet, nice and secure. And then our shower. Really good. Again, looking at the ceiling, looking at any signs of water damage coming from upstairs, making sure that the tiling is all good and secure, nothing's loose. Hot water's coming out, that's good. Okay, we're in here in another bedroom. Hardwood flooring, feels really nice on the feet. Good space, good ceiling height, nice and bright. Nice large egress window. If there was a fire and emergency, someone's able to climb up and get outside, no problem. They're gonna be nice and safe. Lock's good. Again, we have lots of plugs in here. We have USB plugs. Throughout the house, there's quite a few of these. So you're able to plug in a USB charger directly into the receptacle, test it, working good. just nice and convenient. Good sized closet for people storing suitcases and all their other items as they're coming in, skis, all that kind of stuff. Really nice bedrooms, good size. A lot of basement bedrooms are quite small and small windows, they're not safe. So this is a good bedroom, checks all my boxes. Okay, we're working our way into the mechanical room now. Take a left and we're here at the electrical panel. You can see all of our breakers are labeled. That way we know what circuit is connected to where, and we can shut it off if we want to isolate a circuit. We also have our main breaker, which is 100 amps. It's a standard service size for a house of this size. So that's all good. We also have a basement permit that the homeowner pulled when they first developed the basement. So that's good. It just shows that the city's come in and they inspected it, so you know that everything's up to code. We have some exterior GFCI protection. We have another plug here. Everything is working properly. I can also take off the panel, and then I'd be able to inspect the wiring, check the wire size, make sure that everything is fitting properly. But it does take a little bit of time, so we don't have to worry about doing that right now. We have arc fault protection for the bedrooms. That's just another safety device preventing any shocks and fire-related issues. So everything looks good. Looking at all the wires, make sure that they all enter the panel and they're all secured properly, that there's no hanging exposed wires that could create an electrocution problem. Everything looks like it's in good shape. Everything's secured properly and it looks good. The panels got a good safety clearance here, so that's good to see. And then we'll make our way over to the furnace and take a look at the exhaust and intake pipes. We want to see this purple glue when we look at these pipes. This is a special rated glue for this PVC, and make sure that everything's secure, everything that has a nice rise, so we're not creating any backdraft or carbon monoxide issues. And take the lid off the furnace itself. Looking inside the furnace, I'll have a look at the burners, make sure that everything is working properly, that there's no signs of any rust or leaking issues going on with the furnace. Newer high efficient furnaces do have condensation related issues, so it's good to check these every couple months to make sure that there is no leaking or rusting going on. Have a look at the air filter, make sure that it's nice and clean. We have a humidifier here. This is a whole home humidifier. We can take the lid off and have a look at the filter, make sure that the filter is good. We want to change it out every 6 months to a year kind of thing. Have a look at the gas piping, make sure we have all of our drip legs, shut-offs, everything's in place for safety. And we have a water softener here. This is a type of softener you fill with salt crystals or pellets, dump them in there, and then that'll help purify the water for the house. It's good for the appliances, it's good for your skin, good for your hair. So that's a nice thing to see. It's an expensive upgrade. Then we have our main plumbing water shutoff, a water meter. You don't want to tamper with this kind of stuff. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So make sure you hire a plumber if you're going to be dealing with any of the type of this piping. And then we have our water tank or water heater. These typically last about 12 to 15 years just by looking at the date of the tank. It's probably about 7-8 years old. So it's kind of halfway through its life. Have a look at the temperature pressure relief valve. Make sure that there is a drip tube that directs the water all the way down to the floor. If a child was to come in here and start playing with this valve, they could open it up and scalding water could get them and then they could cause burns. So the reason this pipe here is directed to the floor so that you don't have any of those issues. This is a high efficient water tank, so it has an inducer motor, helps make things more efficient with the burning of the tank. When it's running, I want to make sure that it's running properly, that there's no grinding or whining sounds coming from the tank. And then we also want to make sure we have our dielectric unions when we have different types of plumbing meeting, different types of metal meeting each other, that we have a union so that we don't create any corrosion issues in the future. And everything looks good. We have PEX plumbing and then some copper, which is good. This is all types of modern plumbing. This is what you see in new homes. So this is good. This is a proven type of plumbing system with very few related issues to it. Whereas some plumbing from the 90s and 80s houses have had issues. So this is good if you're buying a house, you want to see this type of white piping or red and blue type piping. This is what you want when you're looking at a house when you're walking into the utility room, not just looking around at the space, but actually having a look at all the types of systems inside the basement. We have a washer and dryer here separate to the upstairs laundry room, and they're also on their own circuits, which is good. Everything looks to be exhausting properly. We have our dryer vent. It's a metal type of vent, which is great. Not a plastic vent, which could melt. And that vents all the way up outside, which is where you want that dryer exhaust to go. Everything else in here is good. We have a floor drain. That's not backed up. No signs of any water damage in here. When I'm looking around, I don't see any rust on the furnace or any signs of water damage on the drywall. The floor looks good. This is a concrete slab. There's a little bit of cracking going on, which is common. This is what you're gonna see in most basements with a concrete floor. And it seems to be in good shape. There's no large cracks, which could indicate some issues. And that's pretty much it. We have a cap, a lid here. Inside this is a blow backflow preventer, which is a special type of device required in houses now. Most modern homes have it. And it's basically just a one-way valve. So this is connected to the sewer. So all the water that's going out the house will go past that valve and into the city sewer. So if there was ever a backup from the city side of the plumbing, you're not going to get a backup coming into the house. So it's just a one-way valve that's inside that box. So if you're ever wondering what that is, it's usually that's what's inside there. And there's also some other access panels for some plumbing. Really good basement, really good mechanical room. Seems to be how we want things to be. Looks like we have an air conditioning system as well. We're not going to run that because it's too cold outside today, but it seems to be hooked up properly and goes to the outside. So everything is good in here. Structurally, everything seems sound, and I'm very happy with what I've seen so far. Wonderful basement. It's a wonderful house. Okay, so that wraps up our home inspection today. Overall, I'm very pleased. This is a beautiful home. All the aspects of the house, everything's been fully renovated. Really impressed. From the living room, which is really cozy, you have that nice fireplace, to the kitchen, which is nice and big. You have the modern shelving going on, a really beautiful fridge. You know, as soon as I see the fridge, I'd say that's all I need to see. I'm a big fridge guy. My favorite appliance in the house. So again, it's really good. The main floor really flows. You go upstairs, you have that nice bonus flex space. You can do anything up there. Anything is open up there. Beautiful bedrooms, again, cozy, nice beds. I love the beds. And again, the master bathroom really takes the cake up there. Really beautiful, really functional, and it's a nice size shower, really large tub. You could have a party in that tub. So, you know, anything you want to do up there is possible. When you work way down to the basement, you have the hardwood flooring down there. You have the projector screen, nice large bedroom, nice large bathroom. Everything is good. There's no signs of any water damage or moisture issues or insect problems. Nice new furnace, good sized water tank. Everything is there. The electrical panel is all in good shape. Everything's up to date. And it's all modernized to meet today's standards, to meet today's energy demands. So everything's been thought out in this house. I'm really impressed. From a home inspector, it checks all my boxes. And just as someone who likes being in houses and seeing different renovations and all that kind of stuff, it's one of the best renovations I've ever seen for the people to go out and do this on their own and to design it on their own. They did a really good job. It looks like it's meant for a magazine. So if I was going to rent it or spend the night here, this is where I'd spend my money, that's for sure.